What's going on, y'all? Your boy Duane Goodman here, and I'm gonna talk about the in-between hooper. And what does that mean? That's basically you're aspiring to get somewhere, but right now you're stuck in a place where you cannot progress until an opportunity opens up. And that's what the in-between hooper is, and that is what I am right now. You know, I played overseas in the country of Georgia, right? And I left in April, and all the way up until now, which is in February, I have not landed a contract yet. Now granted, I've had a lot of close calls. I had about 15 close calls when somebody was ready to pick me up, but I just couldn't land nowhere, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna explain what's going on and how can you increase your chances, okay? Boom. First of all, let's go back, okay? Let's go to where you are in college, right? What was your college stats? Okay, this is very important, okay? I feel like we have to be realistic with ourselves. Ask yourself, where were you in college, right? For me, I averaged 11 points in college. Unofficially, I averaged 6 assists in college. But of course, in college, it's hard to track what an assist is if somebody hasn't played basketball before, okay? So for me, it was 6 assists when I tracked it with my film. But unofficially, it was like 3 assists that they had marked down, right? So let's say 11 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds. That doesn't sound like a pretty great college career, right? So for me, I understood I had to start somewhere in like a small level, right? So as you gotta be honest with yourself, right? When I did go overseas, I averaged 27 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. Like I was ready. I was a ready product because I stayed ready from college, waited a year and a half, and I had my chance. I averaged 27, 5 and 5, right? Really good, right? My next team I went to was TSU when I averaged 3 points, but I really only played in like an official like 5 minutes a game, right? So it's really hard to tell these agencies and teams like, hey bro, let's not hold it against me because bro, like I didn't get that much opportunities, right? But at the end of the day, it's all about what can you provide for somebody else and what does your track record look like, okay? So boom, ask yourself, what does your track line look like? After you become realistic with yourself and say, okay, this is my stats, this is what my film look like. Now, if you're averaging 30 points and you're playing against little kids or people who look like they're out of shape, people are not gonna take you seriously in terms of your film, right? So after you become real with yourself, where do you move from there? Then you go with agencies. You ask agencies that are good in markets. Now understand this, y'all. What I didn't understand was before I started shopping myself to agencies and stuff, I didn't understand what the agent-based market was. Now, of course, the agent can sell you to any market, right? But there's specific agencies that are great in certain markets, okay? So some agencies are good in high-end markets where like players get made like 30K a month, 20K a month, 50K a month. There's high-end markets. Then there's low-end markets. Then there's agencies that are really good at markets where they're beginner-friendly, like Armenia, lower level Germany, lower level Spain. Like these are agencies that are good in those markets. Those are the agencies you have to hit up. Wherever you feel like your stat line is representing, you go to those markets, okay? Don't bother hitting up agencies that are good in like, I don't know, high-end Spain and those ACB, EuroLeague. Like, there's no point. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta be realistic with yourself. In this phase of your life, when you're the in-between hooper, you gotta be realistic with yourself, no matter where you're at in your phase, okay? And be okay with that. I always like to say, there's nothing wrong with moving slow as long as you're moving proper. People move with like just whatever. They just be out here doing whatever. They like to do this. They like send emails here, send emails there. But if it's not gonna hit that target market, if it's not gonna hit the market that you need to hit, there's no point of you doing all that. You're wasting time. So for me, bro, I went to a whole bunch of camps when I was going crazy against NBA G League dudes, overseas dudes, D1 people, bro, but it doesn't matter because my stats never backed it up. You know what I'm saying? Up until when I went overseas back in January up until May, right? So now for me, it's like, okay, I need to go somewhere where I can have a full year, right? Full stats, right? And I just perform and do my thing. So then when I go to my next team, I have a full season to show for it. Because when I averaged my 27, 5 and 5, when I first went to Georgia, y'all remember that? That was because I only played 2 games. Now, that's not to say I wouldn't have averaged that throughout the whole season if I played in the 2nd Division Georgia for the rest of the season, which I feel like I would have went crazier, right? I would have averaged 30-something, me personally, but I didn't have that, you know what I'm saying? I played 2 games, averaged 27, then I went to the highest league, the highest team in the Georgia Super League, and I averaged 3 points, right? So, realistic with yourself, right? Yes, am I probably a high-end overseas player? For sure, but my stats aren't backing it up. I have great film, but my stats not backing it up. So for me, it's just like, okay, how can I sneak my way into a league where I can showcase it for a full season, half a season, just to have a better representation of who I am. So now that you're trying to find an agency and all that stuff, what can you do in the in-between time, being the in-between hooper? What I like to say, y'all, stay ready. Stay ready no matter what. Remember, I had to wait a year and a half before I got my first pro job. You know what I'm saying? I had to wait a whole year and a half after college. So what I'm saying to y'all is, y'all think that, oh, if I don't get picked up in August when everybody else gets signed for overseas stuff, like there's no hope for me. No, bro. There's openings every single day overseas, bro. Like people get cut every week, every day. So if you're not ready for that one call for somebody to be like, hey, is Tommy ready to leave today? Is he ready to leave right now? Right? If you're not ready, you're never gonna get that chance again. Who knows when you're gonna get it? You know what I'm saying? Because it's hard to get any opportunity in general, right? For me, bro, it's really hard for me to stay consistently with anything at home because I'm just like, bro, I can leave at any moment. I can leave at any moment. Like, could I get a really good high-paying job? Of course. Could I have stable things in life? For sure. But for me, it's just like, stay ready because I really want this basketball thing to work out, so I gotta stay ready. You feel what I'm saying? So I'll probably say to y'all, bro, stay ready, bro, and understand that it can happen at any moment. And if you're not ready for it, it's not gonna happen, okay? So don't be discouraged because you're not getting picked up now. Just understand that your time could come at any moment, okay? So keep working, stay consistent. Never let people say, oh, well, you've been waiting for 6 months, bro. This basketball thing not working out. No, bro. Find leagues that give you good film. Find leagues that give you good stats. Find leagues that can grow yourself as a basketball player. Keep growing your brand. Post on social media. Post your workouts. Send it to people. There's things you can do right now. In between that time, we find your contract, okay? So don't be discouraged. And if you do everything I tell y'all right now, of course, I'm still doing the same thing. I think we'll find our place that we're supposed to be at. But we gotta stay ready and stay consistent. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. We out of here.